time to reach a conclusion on action. We've been asking the question, overall, what is the mark that distinguishes your actions from things that merely happen to you? We've seen the standard view, I'm taking it from Davidson, is that the mark is intention. That's to say that those events which are appropriately guided by your intentions are actions, everything else is stuff that merely happens to you. But we've also seen that another way to develop this view is by appeal to justifying reasons. And given some assumptions, maybe correct assumptions, we don't know, given some assumptions, we can actually further specify this view by saying that those events for which the agent has justifying reasons are actions. And that may be actually two ways of looking at the same view. I am attracted to this idea because I think it provides us with a way of, enriching, spelling out, further explicating the view that Davidson is offering us. And although that's not directly an argument for the view, the richer the view is, the more useful and interesting it could turn out to be. Important then to consider what could count as objections to that view. From Frankfurt's paper, I took what I called his argument from spiders to be the most compelling objection to the standard view. Now I could be wrong there, and it might be that you can find a better argument in Frankfurt's 1978 paper to the standard view. I don't think so, but I've been wrong before. I've been wrong about many things, including the spiders, so I wouldn't place any money on me being right this time. I think this is the best objection. I think that we're not in a position to know that all of the premises are true, and therefore that the objection does not, as it stands, give us reason to reject the standard view. That motivated me to consider Bach's objection from absent-minded, instinctive and impulsive actions like ducking a flying object. And here again, I think the argument's interesting, but we're not in a position to know that its premises are true, and therefore it does not give us reason to reject what I'm calling the standard view or Davidson's view. This being the case, I think our best approach probably is to stick with the standard view as the answer to our overall question, and to work on how to develop and further elaborate that, perhaps by focusing further on justifying reasons, explanations, and the rest. But I might easily be wrong about that, and it's for that reason, partly, that I wanted to focus on Frankfurt. You see, Frankfurt is interesting not just for the objection against the standard view, but also for offering us an alternative, or an apparent alternative. Frankfurt holds that action is behaviour whose course is under the guidance of an agent. So for him, what distinguishes things that merely happen to you from your actions is that your actions only are under your guidance. Now Frankfurt, in developing that view, I think, or you really in developing that view, because Frankfurt didn't develop that view, he just sort of left it there, problem for everybody else. If you're going to develop that view, I think you need to do two things. First of all, you need to say something a little bit more about what guidance is. You see, I'm very tempted to think, look, there's a simple way to understand guidance. For an action to be guided by you is for the event which is the action to be guided by your intention. But that just then collapses it back to Davidson's view, right? And if that's right, Frankfurt just made a mistake here. He didn't see the subtlety of Davidson's view, the standard story, to which he was objecting. But it may be, and this is what many other philosophers think, we've seen Dennis Buhler earlier, for example, it may be that Frankfurt does have a way, or you have a way, of explaining what guidance is, and this story doesn't collapse back to this story, and that could be interesting. Or maybe it does collapse back to this story, but it actually provides an elaboration of the standard view rather than the refutation of it. In any case, if you're going to develop this line of thought, action is fundamentally a matter of guidance, you need to know what guidance is. The second problem is that we need to understand when guidance is attributable to an agent. And earlier I gave you this example. You think about a spider moving across its web. That's guidance which is attributable to an agent, the spider itself, as Frankfurt says. The other case is the spider moves across its web, but that's because you, being a bit mean, and you pick up the spider and bump it across the web. Bump, bump, bump. Now the spider's behaviour is being guided, but not by the agent itself, rather by you, by some external force. So this isn't guidance attributable to an agent, as Frankfurt puts it. And so if we're going to convert Frankfurt's statements there into something like a story about action, we're going to have to be able to say something about when there's guidance which is attributable to an agent. So there you have it. This is really not so much a conclusion as a suggestion about different directions you could take the work in. You could take the work further by trying to come up with a better or refined objection to the standard view, Davidson's view. Or you could try to develop further the standard view, or you could come up with a development of Frankfurt's view, maybe providing some reasons that might push us towards accepting that view, or some way of understanding guidance where it's not clear or not obvious that guidance is simply a matter of intentions being in control of actions. Over to you.